What's going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today, playing some Monster Legends. I want to thank you guys so much for coming out with me today. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button to show your support. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright, peeps, today we're going to be talking about the top 7 nature monsters. It's going to be a thing, but first up, got a couple things to go through first. Okay, so number 1. No VIPs and or Nemesis monsters will be put in any of these lists for the element types because they're locked behind actual dollar purchases and not just with gems, so they're not available to everybody. Therefore, they will not be in the list. Monsters in this list are not listed from 1 to 7, being 1 is the best and 7 is the worst. They are listed by their base speed. So the fastest monster is going to be first, the slowest monster will be last. Does not mean they're the best or the worst, it just means that's how I organized them in the slideshow. So, also, gonna go ahead and preempt, I'm guaranteeing there's gonna be somebody in the comments section. Where's Lao Mu? Lao Mu's so great. Why is she not in the top 7? I don't know. Maybe a year ago, she would have been top 7. 2017, she's not, okay? She's a mediocre deny at best. She has one single skill with the possess. That's it. And it also dazes a target, which is exactly what you do not want when you possess an enemy, is to make them weaker and less accurate, because they're going to be hitting their own team. You want them to be either stronger or more accurate. One or the other, not weaker, okay? So she's definitely not one of the top 7 in my opinion. You can disagree with me if you'd like. If you really like her, run her. It's up to you. But she's not in this list at all. Anywho's, peeps, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump in. There'll be some pictures popping up, and we're going to run through the top 7 best monsters, their skills, their stats, all that great business. And I will see you guys again at the end. Alright, peeps. First up, we have Sarah. Now, this bot was closely tied with Elytra, but I think Red Wool Shield gave Sarah the advantage. Anyways, jumping in here, she's got 3,234 base power, which is actually pretty low, but whatevs. Her life is 27,445 with 3,476 speed. This is the fastest base speed, obviously, tied with Lao Mu and Elytra. The trait, immune to stun, very good for nature-based wars due to the fact that their primary means of immobilizing is stuns. Her special skill down here lets fleece them, deals heavy nature damage to all enemies, gives them damage reduction, and slows targets. Now, slow's not super reliable, but damage reduction is not bad, whatevs. Moving on over to her skills, we have Woolly Crush. This is a single target skill with a 2 cooldown, deals heavy special damage, gives stamina regeneration, and may stun the target. So not a bad skill at all. It gives you a stun and stam regen. Not bad at all, peeps. Then we got Red Wool Shield. This is kind of a really good skill in my opinion. It gives damage boost to all your allies, but it also gives them a freeze and stun immunity. So that's really great for any kind of war because it makes your team much harder to immobilize. Amazing. Moving on down, we got the Woolly Smash. Deals moderate nature damage, may stun target. 0 cooldown is the takeaway there. It has no cooldown. You can stun somebody every turn if you want to. Awesome. You've also got Healing Glove over here. Heavy nature damage, and she heals by 30%. Pretty powerful. Self-heal. You know, it's never a bad thing to have. Then you got Poison Glove you can also take, which is a moderate nature damage, and it may poison a target, again with 0 cooldown. Up to you which skills you want to take, but I think an absolute must, Woolly Crush, Red Wool Shield, and Woolly Smash. Now, as for runing, this kind of varies depending on where you are, what level runes you have. You can run her with 3 straight speed to make her fast and use, her stuns faster. Or you can run her as a more support-based monster with 1 speed, 2 team speed, something along those lines. Alright, moving on here, we have Guava Juice, the one and only. Anyways, his base power, 3,377, so not the highest. Life, 28,651, and speed, 3,465. So he's still very fast, not bad at all. A little weaker for a damage dealer, but up to you. Anyways, traits, immune to poison, pretty common among nature monsters. A lot of people have that. His special skill down here, the Jello Bath Challenge, hits multiple enemies. It's heavy nature damage, may stun all targets, and may poison all targets. Can't go wrong there. That's not bad at all. Now, on his skills, I forgot to add one in. Don't know why I did. It's called the Chill and Water Challenge. It's only 35 base power, but it does an AoE blind and damage reduction. It's a must-have if you're going to run him as more of a denial-based monster, because obviously blind is pretty much a soft deny. Anyways, moving on, we have Water from the Pipe Challenge. This is going to be a 45 power AoE. All of his skills are AoEs, by the way. Really interesting in my opinion. Anyways, this is going to give all the enemies a weakness to nature, earth, and water elements, so not bad at all. Can set him up for really good damage as a damage dealer. Moving on over, we have Slime Bath Challenge, a 40 power AoE with 1 cooldown. Moderate nature damage to all enemies, may poison all targets. Works really well, setting that up after water from the Pipe Challenge should do extra damage. Moving on down, the Saltwater Challenge, heavy special damage to all enemies, may daze all targets. 50 power AoE, so that's a really good power for an AoE, and it's also special damage, so it's unresistible. Moving on over, the Cheese Balls Challenge, another 45 power AoE here, special damage again, and this is going to remove all positive status effects from the enemy monsters. Not bad at all to have a debuff like that on your team, it can be very handy. Then moving over one more time, we have the Energy Drink Challenge, a 40 power AoE special damage that removes 25% stamina from all targets. Again, not bad at all. For ruining him, it depends on what you're going to run him as. If you're going to run Guava Juice as a damage dealer, 1 speed or 1 team speed and 2 strength will work just fine for you. If you're more in the top tier of things, obviously you're going to probably run 2 team speed and 1 strength just to make your denial monster faster. Now obviously if you're going to run him as a denial monster, that means 3 speed. That's all you'll ever run on a denial monster anyway. Alright, up next here we have Petra Loa. The stats here. 3,498 power, so pretty solid power stat. 29,556 life, not bad, and 3,432 speed, so not bad there either. Trait, immune to possession. Any trait that makes you immune to a sort of denial, stun, freeze, or possession, isn't bad to have. Moving on down, the special skill here is a 55 power AoE with a bleed and poison attached. That's really good because bleed and poison together is not only a 20% life reduction every turn, it's also a 40% power reduction. So definitely a solid skill there. Moving on over to these skills, we have Butaya Yatai Leaves. I don't know if I'm saying that right, probably not, but whatevs. It's a 70 power single target attack, nature damage, and it also poisons the target. So really good for a damage dealing skill, hits really hard. Moving on over, we have Mouths to Feed. It is a 50 power AoE special damage. That's pretty much the gold standard. That's going to be a very hard hitting skill. Coupled with Loa's Will, you're going to one-shot peeps. So moving up next, Loa's Will. This is going to be a self skill. It gives Petra Loa precision and double damage. So very, very strong skill there. Amazing. Moving on down, we got Zampa Fuoso. Probably saying that wrong too, but whatevs. 65 power single target dark attack. It's going to also make the target bleed. So if you want to run both Butai and Zampa Fuoso or whatever, that's going to give you a bleed and poison, 2 very heavy damaging attacks. Amazing. Moving over again, we have Guarana Roots. This is going to remove all negative status effects from Petra Loa and heal by 30% and gain regeneration. This is going to give her the ability, maybe it's her, I don't know. It's going to give it the ability to stay into a fight much longer. Alright, and then one more time over, we have Arboreese. Now, this is one of those skills you don't have to take at all. It's a 45 power. The only reason I would take it is it's 0 cooldown. So it gives you something against Timerian if that's a problem for you, and it also gives you a skill that you can spam literally every turn. So up to you if you want to take that. It may not have a spot in your lineup, but I just wanted to list it anyway. Now, Petra Loa obviously is a damage dealer, so ruining her depending on where you are in runes slash, league reward level. The first setup you'll probably use will be either 1 speed or 1 team speed and 2 strength. That's for lower level runes. And then if you're in the top tier gameplay, obviously you already know what you're going to rune her with. It'll either be 2 speed and a strength or 2 team speed and a strength. Alright, up next here we're going to have Kiridar. Very solid damage dealer here. The power, 3,454. Not bad base power at all. The life, 28,651. Speed, 3,432. So, pretty decent power, pretty decent speed. Not bad. Trait, immune to possession. Again, not a terrible trait to have. The special skill down here, Jungle Stampede. This is a 65 damage nature AoE. It removes all positive status effects from the enemy team and also stuns them. So, definitely good there. Can't go wrong with that. Moving over to her normal skills, Bubbles and Friends. This is a 45 power nature AoE damage, and it also gives her a damage boost. So that's pretty solid. 45 AoE and damage boost. I'll take it. Moving over one more, Chimpanzees in the Vines. Another 45 power AoE, but this one makes all the enemies very weak to nature attacks. So if you drop Chimpanzees in the Vines first and then Bubbles and Friends is going to hit pretty freaking hard. Moving over, we have Maylan? I don't know. I wanted to put this in here just because it's a shield breaker. It's not necessary by any means, but it's not bad to have a skill that goes through a shield, or breaks a shield down. Moving on down, we have the Abada Trampling. This is a 65 power single target with 1 cooldown. It's also a nature damage stun, so not bad. Over one more, the Silverback Gorilla. This is a 70 power nature damage, so a little higher damage, and it's a blind. So almost a deny move, but not really. And then moving over one more time, Versailles Rhino. This is a 50 power, 0 cooldown stun. So up to you if you want to take the 0 cooldown for a little less damage, or the 1 cooldown for a little higher damage. Up to you completely. They're both really good skills. Anyways, ruining her obviously is a damage dealer, be the same as the other damage dealers. For lower level runes, you're going to run 1 speed or 1 team speed and 2 strength. For higher level runes, you're going to want either 2 team speed or 2 speed and 1 strength. Moving along, we're going to have General Alsisi here. The power, 3,300. Life, 30,461. And a speed of 3,432. Not terrible stats, decent life, decent speed. The trait is kind of a staple for generals. The tough trait is a 35% resistance to status effects. Solid trait to have. Can't go wrong with it. Moving down to his special skill, we have the Nature Arrows Assault. This is a 75 power AoE, nature damage, and it may poison all targets. Not terrible at all. Skills, I have Naturalia Salve. I think that's how you say it, Naturalia Salve. 100% heal to a target monster. This works really well with monsters like Agursis or Lucaliber that have the Mirror, so you'll actually heal him 100%, and then he will heal you 100%. Makes it kind of nice. Moving over, we have the Poisoned Arrow. This deals heavy nature damage and may poison the target, 55 power. Not a bad skill. I think a must-have over here is going to be Bow Impact. Deals moderate nature damage, gains regeneration for Alsisi, and also stuns the target. So that's a must-have, pretty much. Can't get away from that one. Moving down, we have the Dazing Arrow. This is a 55 power special damage, single target, and it dazes the target, as the title would suggest, Dazing Arrow. So that's not bad either. Moving over, we have Relief Arrows. This is going to be a 35% AoE heal. That's never bad for a support monster. And then over one more, we have the Soothing Arrows. This is going to be a 30 power AoE that does a damage reduction to the enemy team. It's more of an offensive-based support move. Obviously, General Alsisi is a support-based monster, so therefore you will rune him as such. I would suggest probably combinations of speed and team speed runes, no matter what level you have. Some people can get away with running all 3 team speed. I would say probably 1 speed, 2 team speed would be okay for you. And some people might like to run like a team life on him, just for the extra, life for the team for the heals. Up to you there. Alright, moving up next, we have Dino Volador. Very strong monster here. The power, 3,509. Life, 29,255. And a speed of 3,421. So pretty solid stats, great power. The trait, immune to stun, like I said before. Any trait that makes you immune to an immobilization skill is not bad. Moving down, his special skill, the Dino Finisher. 75 power AoE special damage, so it's unresisted. That's pretty solid. Over to his skills. La Voladora Special. Ooh, busting out my Spanish for you. Anyways, peeps, it's going to be a self-buff that gives him immunity to freeze and double damage. Very solid self-buff here. It makes him hard to immobilize and a giant damage boost. Can't go wrong with that. Moving over, Monster Suplex. This is a 35 power AoE stun. This makes him the only nature monster that's actually viable, Roasty doesn't count, with an AoE stun. So pretty solid there. Moving over, we have the Plancha Splash. This is a 45 power AoE nature damage, and it also dazes all targets. So kind of a little soft deny there. Less power, less accuracy. Moving on down here, we've got the Monster Slam. This is a 50 power magic damage that may stun the target as well. So again, another stun. Can't go wrong with stuns. Moving over, Monster Assault. We've got 65 damage, single enemy nature damage, and it may daze the target. So another daze move. One more time moving over, we got the Plymouth Submission. This is kind of a nice little skill if you want to have like a self-heal on him, because, you can never go wrong with the self-heal, right? Up to you if you want to take that or not. You can rune Dino Volador 2 different ways. You can run him as a denial monster, and obviously as a denial monster, that's 3 straight speed. You can run him as a damage dealer as well, with either 1 speed or 1 team speed and 2 strength. Or if you have high level runes, you can get away with 2 speed or 2 team speed and 1 strength. Totally up to you how you want to run him. I think, in my opinion, I'd probably pick Denial Monster, since there's not really many that have a solid, he's the only one, really, with an AoE stun that's viable to use. And last but not least, we have Cyan Asura. Now, Cyan Asura's got 3,465 base power, 29,858 life, and 3,267 speed, making her pretty slow. The trait, immune to poison. Not bad. A lot of nature monsters have that. Special skill, Rise of the Roots. This is a 60 power AoE special damage that also gives all your allies regeneration. So that's not bad for a support-based role. Pretty good. Moving over, we have Pure Force on her skills. This is going to heal all your allies by 40%. Pretty solid AoE heal. I think Sylvanas has a 50% AoE heal, so a little stronger there, but Anyways, moving over, we have Rhizome Fury. This is a 45 power AoE damage. It's nature damage. Pretty solid for a damage dealing role. Moving over again, we have Rhizome Rage. This is a 30 power AoE nature damage that also may poison all targets, so a little power debuff there, as well as the poison effect too. Anyways, moving down, we have Instant Force. This heals all your allies by 15%, but it also gives you an extra turn. So it's a nice way to get a little bit of healing going on and also get a turn to either do damage, or if they're really weak, you can pop this and then Pure Force as well for a 55% AoE heal. Moving on over, we have Root Slam, which is a 50 power special damage single target, and it gives her regeneration, which isn't bad at all. Moving over one more time, we have Root Smash. This is also 50 power special damage, but instead of giving regeneration, she just heals by 20%. You can obviously rune Cyan Asura two different ways. You could make her a support with her heals, or a damage dealer with her more damage-based attacks. I would probably recommend support, just because that's just the way I would run her. She has decently high base power, but having a good healer, can't really go wrong with, and her special has the regeneration as well. So if you're going to run her as damage dealer, obviously, like in the other ones, either 1 speed, 1 team speed, and 2 strength, or 2 team speed, or 2 speed and 1 strength. If you're going to run her as support, I would recommend either 1 speed and 2 team speed. You can get away with 3 team speed as well, or if you have lower level runes, 2 speed and 1 team speed will work just fine as well for you. Alright peeps, well that is the top 7 nature monsters in my opinion. Obviously you're free to disagree if you want someone else. I mean, just because a monster isn't on this list does not mean they're not a good monster. It just means that in my opinion, other monsters push them out of the top 7. So again, this is my top 7. This is what I would say the top 7 best are. You're not going to go wrong picking any one of these monsters because they're all very good. There's other ones that are good as well, but whatevs. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos, don't forget to leave those in the down there, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you liked the video, please make sure you smash that thumbs up button to show your support, and I will see you guys next time.